iPhone 7, iPhone 7 Plus. With the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus, Apple has taken a risk by, well, not changing very much. We've become accustomed to getting something new and impressive from Apple every 2 years, but these phones are more renovation than revelation. But, theatrics aside, the question that really matters is, are these phones worth buying? Apple provided me with an iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus, in its 2 new shades of black. The firm also gave me a SIM card to use while reviewing the devices. Most of the noticeable changes are under the hood, but there are aesthetic changes worth noting. The new black finishes are nice to look at, particularly the shiny jet black. The jet black finish, though, is a fingerprint magnet. But at the end of the day, many people are likely to cover the finishes up with cases. As far as weight and width, the phones feel about the same as their predecessors, though you can tell they're a hair lighter if you directly compare the new phones to the old ones. Apple also redesigned the home button to be a button in name only. It's now a pressure-sensitive disc that uses vibrations to feel like a button. Users can customize the strength of the buzz to make it feel more or less clicky. The faux button, particularly on the lowest setting, can feel a little muddy, and at first, I really didn't like how it felt. But after 2 days and some adjusted settings, I almost didn't notice anymore. One improvement could be a big deal to every iPhone user who's ever complained about running out of space or missed a critical photo because they didn't have room on their phone to take it. Apple has doubled the storage on the base models of the new iPhones, which finally brings Apple up to par with its closest competitors in this area. A base model iPhone 7 or iPhone 7 Plus now has 32 GB of storage instead of 16 GB. You can only get a jet black iPhone with either 128 GB or 256 GB of storage. And those who may have worried that they weren't going to get a speed or processing boost from the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6s can rest easy. Apps load snappily and without lag. Apple redesigned the home button in part to make the phone more water resistant. The phone can withstand about 3 feet of water for up to 30 minutes. But that is certainly not recommended. Although the iPhone is able to withstand a quick dip in the sink or, as can happen, in the toilet, it's not exactly waterproof. It has a lower water resistance rating than Samsung's Galaxy S7 line, which delights in showing off its resistance to water fountains and champagne in its commercials. Basically, all Apple's water resistance means is that you don't have to weep if your phone falls in a puddle. Dropping my units in the sink was a serious test of my nerves, but if these phones get wet, you still can't completely brush that off. Apple, in fact, recommends that you don't plug the phone in for several hours if the power port takes a bath. Both phones have been designed to improve battery life, with the inclusion of 2 efficiency processing cores alongside Apple's existing performance cores, which allow the phone to use less power for the same processes. The iPhone 7 Plus is supposed to be a battery powerhouse, with Apple claiming it will get an hour more of battery life compared with the iPhone 6s Plus. In practical terms, both of the new phones can easily make it through a day of regular use without a problem. In my use, the iPhone 7 Plus could have lasted into the next morning if needed. But battery-intensive features such as following directions on a map would still probably have you reaching for the power cord sometime before bed. Overall, when it comes to performance, if you upgrade from the iPhone 6 or earlier, you will feel a big boost that may be worth the money. But iPhone 6's users can probably sit this upgrade out. The improvements aren't that big, unless you're really into upgrading your iPhone's camera.